Temperatures are dropping quickly here at Cheney Stadium in Tacoma, Washington, where tonight Sounders FC 2 plays host to LA Galaxy 2 in midweek USL play. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us here on ESPN Plus. Delighted to have you with us. I'm Andrew Harvey, joined by Dave Clark. Dave, both these teams eliminated from the USL postseason, but now is an opportunity for guys to play for contracts and for coaching staffs to figure out what they have looking toward 2019.
Yeah, the two younger squads in the Western Conference of the USL both have to look forward, have to look to their future. Sounders 2 have 5 games left for those young kids to show themselves and show their team what they have and what they need to do going forward.
LA Galaxy 2 upended some recent misfortune with a 6-1 thrashing of Real Monarchs back on September 22nd. And one of the men who figured heavily into that victory we'll be keeping our eye on tonight. It's Ethan Zubak for Los Dos.
Zubak's got 11 goals and 2 assists for that squad. He's the captain tonight, second on the team in minutes played. He's in his 4th year with LA2, and he's just 20.
On the other side of the things, for Sounders 2, it's a player on an MLS contract who is down from the Seattle Sounders tonight. We're keeping our eye on Handwalla Bwana as he works his way back from a long-term injury.
Bwana's recently put in 2 performances with Sounders FC 2, both getting 45 minutes, had a spot appearance at the MLS level as well. His key tonight is going to be on the ball and what he can do working that central midfield position and how he can feed the wingers and the forward in front of him.
Well, it should be an offensively packed night. We'll be keeping our eye on all that action and so much more. Sounders FC 2 playing Los Angeles Galaxy 2 after this. Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here on ESPN Plus. We're moments away from kickoff between Sounders FC 2 and LA Galaxy 2. I'm Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark. Sounders 2, 5 wins, 20 losses, 5 draws so far this season. Much better at home though, 5-7-3. The Galaxy, 10-15-6 overall, 3-10-2 on the road. And Dave, talk us through this Los Dos starting 11.
Los Dos is lining up in a 3-4-1-2 this evening. Their goalkeeper is Eric Lopez. In defense, you have Hugo Ariano, Jean Angola, Andre Zonga. In the midfield, Didi Traore, Adrian Vaughn, Emmanuel Apio, Nate Schultz, Jeffrey Oxenpong, Frank Lopez, and Ethan Zubak are the forwards.
Zubak, the man wearing the captain's armband. You see S2 manager John Hutchinson talking to his counterpart Mike Munoz there. And here is his starting 11. Brian Meredith gets the nod in goal. Defenders from left to right, Ibrahim Usman, Tony Alfaro, Kai Briscoe, and Jordan McCrary. The holding mids, Jordi Delem and Alex Roldan. Attacking mids from left to right, David Olsen, Handwalla Bwana, and Henry Wingo. Lamar Nagel is wearing the captain's armband. Captain 253 himself is up top. Well, it is a very MLS-heavy roster tonight for Sounders FC 2. Matter of fact, I if I have it counted correctly, there are 8 members of the MLS Seattle Sounders down on short-term loans tonight. So plenty of experience out there for S2.
It's definitely an experienced squad for S2. It's the oldest starting lineup that they have had here at home, just over 23 years in age. With those 8 that are down, though, as we mentioned, Bwana earlier, Wingo, and Alex Roldan are all youngsters. So it's not necessarily a surprise that it's their oldest lineup, despite the fact that it's young MLSers on the squad.
Your referee is Sergei Demianchek. Assistant referees Seth Martin and Christopher Turner. The 4th official is Gustavo Caicedo. And both these teams making sure that they're nice and warm before they start running out there. Game time temperature is a balmy 51 degrees out here, and really after what had been kind of an Indian spring, as it were, through most of September and that first week or so of October, just kind of now chilly these last couple days out here.
It's fall now. Heavy rains earlier in the week. It's certainly fall again. Interesting to note that Efra Alvarez and a couple of the S2 players are off with youth national team service. So both S2 and the LA Galaxy 2 are down some of their youthful talents.
It's one of the drawbacks, I suppose, of having academy systems that are so stocked with talent, is every once in a while the United States Soccer Federation comes along and says, you know, can we borrow those guys for a couple of days? Well, S2's broken their huddle. They're wearing their traditional rave green and blue shorts. They'll be moving from right to left on your screen here in the first half. And we'll take the opening kickoff. There's Bwana. Now, what has to happen for him to have a big impact on this match, Dave?
His expertise and the skills that earned him a contract are what he does with the ball at his feet in tight spaces. He needs to have that confidence to thread passes and to dribble through contact.
We're underway here at Cheney Stadium. 90 minutes of USL action on the midweek for you. Most of these players for S2, like we mentioned, under MLS contracts with Seattle Sounders FC. And you have to say that'll probably add a bit more chemistry than what you might usually expect. Sometimes when just a couple of MLS guys come down, they haven't had a chance to train with the players from S2. And should not be the case tonight.
No, the normal lack of knowledge of where the other guy is going to be shouldn't be there. Even David Olsen in the attack is somebody who's played along with Bwana and Wingo in the past.
Tony Alfaro going square to Kai Briscoe. Jordan McCrary. That's Bwana there. He loses out. This is Jeffrey Alshampong. Manuel Apia. He'll chip it over the top. Floated along by Kai Briscoe. Brian Meredith goes up and grabs it out of the air. Nagel. That's David Olsen. Briscoe. Far side for McCrary. And Jordy Delem. Jordy Delem, a player who might find himself called away for international duty before too long goes by. The holding mid has been something of a standout for the Martinique national team, who have a friendly coming up on these upcoming FIFA international dates. Long throw in looking for Nagel. Those two trying to turn. Going back the other way, there's Zubak trying to stretch out Kai Briscoe. And certainly the S2 back line, Dave, going to have its hands full tonight between Zubak and Frank Lopez. 22 goals scored between the pair of forwards.
It's going to be a challenge for them too, because where the familiarity is up front, that back line is quite unfamiliar. You've got an academy player playing up, Tony Alfaro, the MLS contract, loaned down, and then flanked by Jordan McCrary and Usman.
Ariano trying to link up with Engel in the middle. It'll stay in play for Ariano. I have to say, Dave, after an entire season of AAA baseball and all but 2 games of a USL home slate, the surface here at Cheney Stadium has really held up quite well, particularly the grass laid down over the infield.
They've done a great job maintaining that surface throughout. 2 home games ago, there was the very heavy rains, and it looks and plays as you expect a grass field to.
McCrary's long throw. Turn back over to Engela. Both Engela and fellow, I guess, into the 3-5-2, we can call him center back, Andre Zanga, Cameroonians, out of the Kaji Sports Academy in Yaoundé. Of course, S2, no stranger to bringing in Cameroonian talent either. Al Champong trying to link up with Schultz on the near side. Turnover there for Buana, and he'll settle for a free kick. Jeffrey Alchampong there. Joined from Veracruz in Liga MX and just got, well, a little too much of Henwala Buana there, as you see on your replay. Alfaro restarts. And McCrary can't handle Briscoe's pass. Lopez. Clearance falls for Didi Traore. Apia. Tried to go through for Zubak there. And that one off a deflection comes back. You could see Zubak turn. He started to think about if he'd be offside or not if he ran onto that ball. Risky back pass there. Alfaro under pressure. He's brought down and will be grateful for the free kick. Part of that was Jordi Delem drawing the foul.
Wasteful in that opportunity. They didn't need to bring him down. They had perfect pressure.
This is Alex Roldan. Now McCrary. Wingo to the byline, cut back cross, and knocked away inside the 6. Ariano dishes it out for a corner. Another look at it here.
Wingo's been very good at working that space down here in Cheney Stadium.
And Walla Buana with the outswinger. Lopez goes up, got a hand to it, draws the free kick as well. Brave goalkeeping there, but usually if you see a keeper get to that one, he tends to catch that ball. Might have been something in the foul that didn't leave it possible for him. Lopez, just 19 years of age. When he signed, he was the youngest player ever signed to a USL contract. Been in the Galaxy 2 system for a while now. Turn over to Apia. Near side to Schultz. Schultz doing battle with Ibrahim Guzman. Risky back pass, and that one bounces off of Frank Lopez and out for a goal kick. Meredith. One away by Vera, he's brought down. Quickly draws a free kick off Jordi Delem. Achampong wants to go quickly here. It's hit straight into Kai Briscoe. And S2 control it in their own end. Briscoe, nifty first touch from him. Nagel checks in. He's onside when he gets to that ball. Finds Wingo. McCrary looking to switch. Usman calling for it. Usman cutting inside. Usman going for goal. And a bit ambitious from the young Nigerian, but still not bad in transition.
He'll need a little bit more power to beat a keeper at this level. Wants to score from that distance.
S2 have it at midfield. Nagel trying to head it in here. Buana. Wingo. Alex Roldan. Usman. And S2 recycles. Buana trying to dribble through pressure here. Alchampong wins it off and finds Apia. Apia swallowed up quickly. Los Dos dump it over the top. Now Alfaro past midfield. Goes to Wingo. He's got Traore on his back. You're seeing it right away when S2 turn over the ball. Very quickly applying the pressure. This one falls through. Sliding challenge there from Alfaro. It's a crunching one. And it's held in by Brian Meredith. Not a moment too soon. Frank Lopez looked to be in one-on-one there. As I was saying before the action took us away there, Sounders too very quick to press once they turn the ball over. They've been relatively successful with that this season. Here's Apia. Laying it off. Schultz is in the wide position and Brian Meredith equal to the task. Long ball up toward Usman. Schultz gets the edge on him and holds it in play. Pass toward Lopez, just a little bit careless. Usman hoping to hold on to that ball and slide it inside. He'll settle for a throw-in. 11 minutes in. So far, Sounders have had more of the ball, but the Galaxy, Dave, you'd have to say, have had the better chances.
Yeah, they're pressing high, forcing S2 into mistakes, taking advantage of those. It's interesting, when S2 counters, when they move quickly, they've looked a lot better than when they play slow, forced to make decisions.
The ball towards Zubak, and just kind of skips off the grass, accelerates a little bit, out for an S2 throw.
See here, Los Dos have every player above their own center line.
The 1-2 linking up with Buana comes through for Nagel. Now here's Jordi Delem. Delem back on the end of this ball. He pushes it to the left side. David Olsen was there, and the two of them are unable to link up. There's a LA Galaxy 2 player down in the heat. Take another look at this.
Delem's forced to make a decision here. I don't know if I'd call that a shot or a cross. Kind of split the distance between David Olsen and the far post.
And that is Andre Zonga. They're going to wave on the trainers for him. You saw it right there at the tail end of that replay. His foot got clipped a little bit by Delem as he made that recovering run. And he is down and appears to be in a significant degree of discomfort here in the 13th minute. Look at it here. And up, yeah, right there. As Delem's body weight went out from under him, you saw his foot kind of land on top of Zonga. No ill intent in that, obviously. That does not make that injury hurt any less.
Helped up, and he's got a limp right now.
step over the goal line. We'll see if he asks to be let back on at the far touchline. Well, you mentioned it right before that break happened, Dave. When S2 manages to link things up in transition, good things happen for them. You saw it right there. Jordy Delem building that attack out of the back. A couple of quick, bizarre redirections on passes. At the end, Delem just not able to put that ball in front of David Olson for what would have certainly been the game-opening goal.
Tsonga is ready to re-enter the field. He tried once already and the referee waved it off.
It's one of those bizarre minutiae of the laws of the game. You must re-enter from the touchlines regardless of where you exit the pitch. And Tsonga wave back on now. So that's good news for LA Galaxy 2 fans. Certainly never want to be forced to make a substitution for any reason in the first 15 minutes. Traore goes in for Apia. Tsonga. And Usman lets it run out the near sideline. Quick throw in for Olsen. Nagel. Buana. Olsen stumbles a little bit there, kindly deflection, and luckily for Eric Lopez, it comes all the way through to his hands. Hugo Arellano. And a free kick the way of S2. Nagel won that ball cleanly, didn't do much to get out of the way of Adrian Vera after he'd done so. Well, perhaps even a little bit of embellishment on the end of that one. Ooh. And another stumble there from Jordy Delem. Wingo recovers to it. See right there, sometimes when the grass cools down, you play your first cold weather game of the season, things get a little bit slick out there, Dave.
Yeah, it's on separate parts of the field too. Both Olsen and Delem now with that stumble where it looked as if their foot got caught.
We'll to switch to Jordan McCrary. Delem. Top to Usman. And another stumble, this time the back pass to Lopez, and he's able to deal with it. With Gene Engola right there, dealing with some troubles of his own. Here's Nate Schultz, he's gonna go quickly in the middle, finds Zubak. Vera pushes it to the near side. Traore giving chase. Early ball in, touched away by Briscoe. Further on by Usman. Lopez is underneath it. Vera looking to turn. Wide for Schultz. Vera going down there looking for the free kick, not given. Now Wingo. Swung over to Usman. And Brian Meredith controls. 18 minutes in here, Dave, and like we said, S2 still with the lion's share of possession, but you just get the sense that an opening goal is coming on just one misplaced foot, likely to be some sort of slip-up by either one of these defenses.
Yeah, both defenses have struggled this year. 538 considers them both in the lower third in the league, so that's something that S2...
Wingo lets fly. A cannon off his right foot, but couldn't put it on frame.
This is good for Wingo, where he It's what he's done with S2, take advantage of his space and his opportunities. It's a little bit further out than he likes to shoot at this level.
Big switch into space. Zubak is there. He tried to go first time with his cross. He'll settle for a corner kick.
Los Dos seem to move it up that left side of theirs fairly frequently. Quick ball movement, and they like the speed that Traore has out on that flank.
Here's Emmanuel Apia. Played his college ball in Cincinnati. 2016 draft pick by the Colorado Rapids. Later signed on with Sporting Kansas City and spent time with Swope Park Rangers. Now here to send in an in-swinger. He keeps it on the ground. Gets the return. Guzman out there to harass him. Apia, a little bit of space. Ball in, knocked away by Delem. Ariano can't hold on to it. Now it's Buana. Buana going way downfield. Flag is up for offside on Henry Wingo. Pass just a little bit slow coming.
Good vision by Buana on that. He was in deep, didn't have a lot of space, and still to be able to thread that pass even if Wingo was a bit offside.
Easy on the restart, Ariano. Apia. The 1-2 with Zubak. And Zubak wins a throw-in. Traore, he's pushed that to the far post. Brian Meredith content to watch it sail out of play. And they're saying it's been held in on the far side. Quick cross there, out for a corner. Well, that is a phenomenal hustle on the byline from Lopez. This time it's Al Champong. He'll spin this one into the grinder. Header from Zenga. Loose in front of the goal and cleared away by Delem. S2 trying to work in transition. And the ball overhit for Wingo. Flick on header. Wingo gives chase. Buana recovers to it. Now Olsen. Roldan. 4 defenders around him. Guzman. Delem looking long. Olsen gets to that ball. Schultz is all over him. Olsen, the back heel chop. His man's onside. It's Buana, the cutback cross. Olsen is loose. He shoots, and it's blocked right in front of the net. Al Champong was there, and this bounces out for an S2 corner kick. Boy, Olsen thought for certain he was going to open his 2018 scoring account when he got this lucky deflection.
Just a great little back heel that he set up all of this on his own. From the receipt of the big cross, his back heel and the shot.
Lamar Nagel, Alex Roldan as well, provides some beef in the box. Ball sailing in, and it's headed wide. Out for a goal kick. Credit to the Galaxy, who were caught a little bit unsettled on that last attack. Managed to put enough bodies around the ball to keep it from being a shot on goal. The long through ball. inspired back heel from Delem. Now it's Wingo up the far side. Wingo, early cross from him, is sailed out of play. Assistant referee is taking his time to signal for a throw-in. Prairie trying to get some rotation going. Throws in toward Nagel. Lopez off his line and grabs it off Nagel's head. Lopez wants to go quickly here. He'll kick this pretty much the length of the field. Briscoe takes it out of the air. So far, Dave, it really feels that every time the Galaxy have the ball, they're a bit reliant on those long balls over the top. S2 has a pretty composed back line. Might be tough to get Zubak or Lopez in on goal with one of those.
Briscoe's very good at moving quickly on those long balls.
Still just an academy player, Kai Briscoe, but he's certainly been pressed into service with increasing frequency over the course of the USL season. And at a number of different positions. Played a little bit of center back, a little bit of full back, and some holding mid as well.
It's interesting. He's so good in the air, too, for somebody at his height. He's the shortest player on either back line tonight, and I'd be confident if he goes up for a header against anyone.
Buana with a lovely turn past two defenders. Buana crawling in on the 18. He's brought down here, and the referee gives a free kick what appears to be just on the edge of the 18. Hanwala Buana created that opportunity out of nothing.
Look at him just dribbling through that tight space. 2 men on him, 3 men. Los Dos with no choice but to foul, really. If the guy can maintain ball control in that kind of space, you're not going to be able to stop him.
And a yellow card issued as well. Relief to Jeffrey Alchampong. We'll wait for the official confirmation, but he appeared to be the man getting the talking to from Sergei Jemianchuk. Meantime, this free kick, the more pressing concern. Difficult from this distance to get it up and down over a wall. You almost have to try to play it through a gap. And it was Alchampong that was carded. Buana and Wingo will wait for the wall to be moved back to 10, and that will give you a little bit more room to work.
They just added another to the wall. So I think that's a 7-man wall.
Well, whatever it is, it looks formidable. Plenty of height in it. So who takes this kick? Alfaro in there as well. Nagel trying to create some space. Wingo steps away. It's Buana. He curls around and misses wide of the right post. And Walla Buana pulling his head up over his shirt up over his head, I should say, in frustration. Boy, off his foot from our angle here in the booth. That looked like that was going to be 1-0. A glance at it here, and he did not put that wide by much, Dave.
No, he did not. It's nearly perfect. Maybe a little bit more curl. I don't know that he could get it any tighter to the wall.
Now S2 will look to remain on the front foot here in the 28th minute. Last couple breaks have gone their way, and here might be another one. It's Usman. A big touch into space from him. Usman crosses in, and missing the tap-ins, Lamar Nagel. Wingo still trying to keep it on for S2. Wide for McCrary. Early ball in from him. And down in the way, foul given inside the penalty area. And Lamar Nagel mimicking Buana's reaction from moments ago, pulling the shirt up to his chin. I mean, that's got to be a goal, Dave.
He's not misfooted. That's just, he didn't take a swing on the ball.
The only thing that I could think of would be that Nagel thought he would somehow have been offside, but the Usman was ahead of him, so.
At the same point, you force the ref to make the call. Like, if you have the open opportunity on net, make the ref take it back.
Well, S2 will certainly hope they don't come to rue that miss Meanwhile, free kick for LA Galaxy in the attacking half. Ariano floats his ball back post. Brian Meredith off his line to track it, spills it on Zubak and jumps on the live grenade. And he and Frank Lopez high five on the way up. Brian Meredith is many things, but a coward is not one of them, Dave.
No, he's very willing to get into contact.
Wingo dancing past a couple defenders. He'll spin one in on the ground. That's popped up and will sail out for a corner.
S2's done a great job today of rushing from basically the center line into the attacking third. It's another time, this time with Wingo over the ball.
Buana, free header for Tony Alfaro, and it came off a LA Galaxy defender. S2 line up their fourth corner of the match. Buana keeps this one on the ground for Delem. Delem going for goal and just bounced up on his shin at the last moment.
It's interesting. At our last home match, James Riley, our compatriot, companion, he was saying that he wanted to see more movement.
Just couldn't get square to that ball in time.
The set pieces today have definitely demonstrated ball movement by the players.
Played a half hour here at Cheney Stadium. No goals between Sounders FC 2 and LA Galaxy 2. Buana for Nagel. Nagel playing off to Wingo. He'll come wide to McCrary. McCrary, perfect ball, punched away by Lopez. Brought down and sent toward goal. A wonder strike! S2 on top in the 31st. And it's Alex Roldan opening his USL scoring account and does it in stunning fashion from long range. Now Lopez, have to give him credit. He had to come off his line to knock away what would have been a sure thing goal. And it came straight out to Roldan, who buried it.
Roldan did an excellent job using his chest to bring the ball down, put it into space so he could run onto it, take the great strike from distance.
Again, give Lopez credit. He almost got back to that ball after having to completely sell out to deal with the first cross. But S2 will be thrilled to have a goal for all their hard work over the last 15 to 20 minutes. They lead 1-0. They're going to try to take advantage quickly. Nagel trying to keep the pressure on here. He goes in against Angola and also ties up with Lopez a little bit. Another player down at midfield. Couple of bodies on the deck. Long through ball brought down by Alfaro. Delem. Near side to Usman. Roldan, the goal scorer from moments ago. And turnover there to Schultz. Apia gets it right back into touch. Well, so often, Dave, you hear coaches stress it, worry about the second ball, get someone in position to be on the rebound. Alex Roldan was in the right situation, the right position for that situation. As S2 tried a very ambitious throw-in. And you see here, rebound, one touch to control, and just a inch-perfect finish to the near post. really energized this crowd as well with that strike. You can hear it. Fans here loving what they're seeing out of S2 right now. Here's Roldan. Finds Buana. Tried to slip one through to Olsen. Buana and Apia do battle. Guzman there as well. S2 still on it now. It's Wingo. Nagel. He'll turn. He'll fire. He'll score! Lamar Nagel. 2-0 from Tacoma's favorite son. And just like that, S2 double their advantage in a span of minutes.
I think Lamar set himself up for that one. He retreated from the front line and just saw the space, took a shot, drop back.
Roldan's goal there, and just Nagel.
Good corner, little curler.
Boy, so far the goal for S2 looking a little bit like the skills competition. It's almost like they stuck dinner plates up in the 90s and on the side saying, here, hit these. And S2 is not disappointed. It's Nagel's third goal of the USL season now. While this is a mostly very young S2 roster, Nagel's a guy with a ton of experience that can come in and say, hey, listen, if you want to learn how to play at the highest professional levels, watch this. Under 10 to go until halftime now. I have to say S2 seemingly very much in control of this match. Of course, we know the Galaxy remain dangerous and capable of striking back at any moment.
This is S2 kind of at their best identity when they're gritty and tough in defense, pushing that forward, attacking front lines from the other team, and then in the attack when S2 just puts the pedal to the metal and runs forward as fast as possible.
Here is Buana attempting to do just that. A back pass comes through to Lopez. Vera slips on the ball there. Pass back to Lopez again. And Lopez cannot get it beyond Roldan. Rolling through ball. Now here's Buana. Brana tried to get a little bit cheeky with Schultz. David Olsen going down. Appealing that he was hit in the head there. Referee not yielding to his pleas. Meanwhile, here's Schultz coming the other way. Apia. McCrary gets the ball and is brought down in the process, out for a header. Engela, near side to Zenga. Didi Traore moving nicely through that press, through the lunging tackle from Delem, now goes down on contact above the box, and that is going to lead to the free kick. Kai Briscoe saying he was going shoulder to shoulder with them, but realistically, after all the contact Traore had to deal with just getting to the 18, you can understand a free kick being given there.
Galaxy 2 I think that was a lot lighter than earlier contact.
On the kick's given, and it's pretty much exactly the same spot as Handwalla Buana took his free kick. Apia over it, as is Traore. Al Champong is there, providing his insight. S2 just putting 5 in the wall. Frank Lopez lurking beyond. A bit of handbags off the ball. Hugo Ariano and Jordy Delem getting acquainted, although I don't think they're making plans to get coffee tomorrow morning.
It's interesting, the defender doesn't...
It's Apia, he goes left side and puts it into the net. Tucked it in beautifully on the free kick. And in the 39th, Galaxy 2 pull a goal back. Oh, beautifully placed ball from Apia. Just curls it right over the head of Henry Wingo in that wall. And by the time Brian Meredith saw what he was doing, it was too late. Certainly, as we close in on the last 5 minutes of the first half, that can dramatically change the atmosphere of this game.
It's going to be interesting to see what S2 does, how they recover from that, whether they're demoralized or if they just go back to what was working for them and continue to push up into the attack.
Manuel Apia scoring his second goal of the season for Los Dos. And it just comes at a critical moment. Here's Uzman. Square for Olsen. Uzman floated cross, and that one will sail harmlessly over the goal line. Back pass toward Lopez. They'll knock it long. Alfaro heads it back in. Roldan turns under pressure, goes for Nagel, he'll hold it in play. Nagel going early, and that one out for a goal kick. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. By Zubak. Traore. Uzman sticks a foot in, wins that ball away. Alchampong wins it right back. He'll press forward, pokes it through for Lopez. Lopez! And that one's on the wrong side of the net. Out for a goal kick. Get the best photography from around the league, plus highlights and updates throughout the week on the USL's official Instagram feed by following USL at Instagram.com/USL Soccer.
Lopez didn't quite get his foot under that like he wanted to, trying to get it across the goal. Running full speed, it would have been a nifty little opportunity. Might have been one of those highlights for Instagram.
And certainly it's been a highlight-studded game on both sides of the ball so far. You get the sense that the fireworks are not done yet as we move toward halftime. Nagel running through a couple of challenges there. Still on the ball is Nagel. Has to turn outside, keep it in. Now McCrary. Want to go back to Nagel, he'll go down. Ooh, free kick given. And you have to say, at least on first blush from what we've seen, it looked a little bit generous. Look at it here, here's McCrary. Well, I stand corrected. There are a couple arms in there pulling him. He certainly didn't fight very hard to keep himself on his feet, but it was a foul. Now Buana, an opportunity serve in that fatal ball for S2. Buana into the mixer, headed down by Zubak, comes off the referee. Alchimpong out wide for Schultz. Schultz works his way up to Apia. Turned up at the far side. It's Zenga who's come all the way downfield. Apia spins in the early cross. Carreri heads it away from the waiting Lopez. Traore. Vera. Traore spins that in. Briscoe right there to send it out. Apia spinning there, but he's dispossessed, and now it's fallen for Wingo. Buana for the overlap. Wingo drifting inside, lays it off to Buana. Buana pushes it across. It's behind everyone, and Schultz is there once more. And that ball went out for a corner. 45th minute. S2 will have another one. Their 5th of the match.
They took a 2-on-4 and turned it into a 4-on-4 rather quickly. That pass had been placed a little bit better. Olsen might have been able to get a foot on it.
Two minutes of added time will play here at Cheney Stadium. Already the restart quickly played by Wingo. Back now for Buana in the wide position. Buana, he'll step high, still drifting for Roldan. That one blocked heroically by Alchimpong at the top end. And out for an S2 throw-in. Briscoe was hoping to pick out Nagel. Traore was there. Now Vera. Now Apia. Now they want Zubak. Zubak reaches that ball, holds it in play. It rolls out the far side. Galaxy throw in. Here's Alchimpong. Apia. Apia wants to call his own number. And that sails out for a goal kick. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. And the whistle's gone for halftime. A little bit before the 2 minutes that had been added on have elapsed, but still there's been no shortage of entertainment for you in these first 45 minutes. Dave, your overall thoughts?
This has been two teams that are excited to play soccer. They are enjoying what they do, and it looks like they're having fun moving the ball quickly from end to end, both sides focusing on their attacks this evening.
At the break, Sounders FC2 lead 2-1 over Los Dos. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll take a look around the league and have your first half highlights here on ESPN+.
If I told you I'd give you directions to the greatest place on earth, what would you think? Would you pack your bags for Cali? Put on a little hat with mouse ears? No need. See, the greatest place on earth is right here in your backyard. I'm talking about Cheney Stadium, the South Sound's crown jewel and home of Tacoma Rainiers baseball. There's a little something for everyone at a Rainiers game. And when views of the field are this good and drinks are this cold, you'll get one taste and be hooked. Tickets are available at TacomaRainiers.com. Rainiers Baseball. This is our city.
Welcome back to Cheney Stadium here on ESPN Plus. Through 45 minutes, Sounders FC2 has a 2-1 advantage over LA Galaxy 2. And Andrew Harvey alongside Dave Clark for you here. Dave, it's been a really cracking first half of soccer.
Great action, end to end. No one's playing with patience tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But enough about what's going on right here. Let's take a look at some of the action that is happening around the USL right now. And we'll call that up for you right here. Obviously, some of the big news, as you just saw in that video before we came back from halftime, USL now unveiling a new branding structure for the 2019 season. The division we're in right now, the second division of American soccer, will become known as the USL Championship. The USL D3 that we've been hearing announcements about all year will be USL League One, and the USL PDL, or just PDL as it's come to be known the last couple of years, will be USL League 2. Dave, it's a big move of consolidation.
Yeah, it consolidates the three organizations and structures in the same brand. There are colors to identify each of them, and just shows that pathway for players as they want to progress from those amateur ranks up through the professional ranks through the USL.
Of course. In big news in the Eastern Conference, Major League Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays have announced that they are purchasing the Tampa Bay Rowdies. and you have to imagine some fun stuff's going to be happening out there at Al Lang Stadium.
It's a huge influx of cash into that organization, which of course is great, and a commitment for long-term soccer there at Al Lang, as the Rays committed to at least 5 years at what is a downtown stadium in St. Pete.
And then finally, some fun ESPN-related news. The USL Cup has been officially announced. It'll be played on November 8th, and it will be televised on ESPN2.
ESPN2, that's going to be at 8 p.m. if you're on the East Coast and 5 p.m. if you're on the West Coast.
Well, Dave, certainly never one to mince words, are you? Of course, one other thing we didn't have a chance to hit on that is that Daryl Shore, longtime MLS vet, has been announced as the first head coach ever of the Madison Pro Soccer team that's expected to begin play in the near future.
Yeah, Daryl Shore, who had previously been an assistant coach for Real Salt Lake and played for a little bit with the New Orleans Riverboat Gamblers back in the 90s.
Ah, the New Orleans. I believe at S2 we're familiar with another famous member of the New Orleans Riverboat Gamblers.
Former S2 head coach Ezra Hendrickson was a player down there.
And current assistant coach down with the LA Galaxy, who was part of Ziggy Schmidt's staff before Ziggy was fired. Dave, just continuing our thoughts about this first half of soccer here, it seems like in transition S2 can do no wrong, but the couple times that they slipped up when they were trying to move the ball forward, it really came back to bite them. Yeah,
the LA Galaxy too have had some success running through and by the spaces where a left back and a left center back would be. That's Jordan McCrary, or right back and right center back. That's McCrary and Briscoe, the two players that are least familiar with each other, being one is an academy player that's playing up, and the other being an MLS player who is down on a loan for tonight's match.
Absolutely. Let's take a look now at some other scores from matches going on around the USL right now. And Dave, some interesting results out there. In particular, that simultaneous fixture right now, Reno 1868 FC on the road at Timbers 2. They're up 1-0.
That's a key match for the Western Conference playoffs. If T2 has things go right, they can manage to host a playoff game. Otherwise, they'll be in the bottom end of the bracket.
Well, let's put some of these numbers in context. Let's take a look at your USL standings. And here things are in the Western Conference. Obviously, S2 eliminated right there, but still a lot of action happening right around the red line, and still plenty of room for movement over these last couple matches of the season.
That Reno T2, as you can see right there, 5 versus 6. Perfect opportunity for Reno to take control of their own destiny.
Well, that is your look around the USL. Like we said, plenty of action going on out there. Plenty of action going on here behind us at Cheney Stadium, both during the first half and thanks to our creative director, Casey Catherwood, at halftime, who I believe is currently doing something creative regarding Oktoberfest. We'll take a break and we'll take a look at some of the action that matters, the soccer action. Your first half highlights are next on ESPN+.
Hi, my name is Ray Sari, center mid, and I got one question for you.
I'm David Olson. I'm a forward, and I got one question for you.
I have one question for you. I'm Francisco Narbon. I'm a center mid. I got one question for you.
Do you S2?
Do you S2?
Do you S2?
I S2.
I S2. We S2.
We S2.
We S2.
Do I S2?
Do I S2?
Do I S2?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
What kind of question is that?
Now I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
I know what you're thinking, because I'm thinking it too.
Do you S2?
What does S2 mean to me?
What does S2 mean to me?
Love.
I suck.
I got a question.
I got a question for you. I got a question.
Do you S2?
Mason Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Shot rear end! Alex Mendoza! Goal! That's the over! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba! Pure brilliance from Ricardo Pereira. Zizian, Simon Sop. Must-see TV.
Welcome back into Cheney Stadium here on ESPN Plus. Let's waste no time and jump right in with your first half highlights. And right off the bat, there was some real action in the early goings. Tony Alfaro, a crunching tackle there. This rebound comes out to Alex Roldan. He buries it past a diving Eric Lopez. Not long later, just another look at that one from Roldan. Not long later, Lamar Nagel says, I like the left side a little bit better, and smashes it over that way. Perfect placement from both S2 strikes, and Apia says, are we playing a game of horse tonight? Well, how about one of those? That's how we've gotten to where we are. It's 2-1, and Dave, you have to imagine that there's at least one more goal in tonight's match.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, and I'm not usually, I'd say 3. I just think that this is an action-packed. Neither team is known for their defense, and there are plenty of opportunities for this Sounders side to score more goals. the LA Galaxy 2 have looked well on the counter.
USL made history this past weekend as the league passed 2.5 million in total attendance for the 2018 season. Thank you to all the fans who made this the highest attended lower division soccer season in North American soccer history. And Dave, that total number, 2.5 million, is definitely nothing to scoff at.
It's not. The residents down here in Tacoma and the South Sound have done their part. Attendance up by many percent from due to the move down here to the South Sound.
Our players love it down here at Cheney, and staff loves it. We love it. And South Sound so far has loved them right back. But we are set to go for the second 45. Sounders FC 2 leading 2-1. And we'll see if they can stay on top. Frank Lopez gets us underway. For LA Galaxy 2, if you're head coach Mike Munoz, what are you saying needs to happen for your team here in these first couple minutes in the second half? 45 minutes is a long way to play, only trailing by a goal.
I think he has confidence in his attack. He knows that they're capable of scoring many, so they should go for it, gun for it. Don't play reserved. Play with that passion that they have with the ball at their feet.
S2, despite giving up the goal late on there, still managed a couple more attacks in those final 6 minutes of play in the first half. Sometimes, Dave, can halftime almost be a detriment if you feel like you've got a pretty good rhythm building and then just the disruption comes in?
Yeah, they had things going strong for them, and
here's Zanga. He's in a wide position. Cut back cross there, comes through. And tipped away by Wingo. Acrobatically, he'll run right over Didi Traore. And boy, that really looked shoulder to shoulder from what we saw.
Both players with a little handshake on it. They're running on that ball. Wingo might have stuck his leg in between there to get the call. Nothing malicious, just one of those plays where both sides wanted it, a ball that was running away from them.
Pia, the set piece maestro. I'll send this one in. A lot of height available at the 18. Apia plays it to the near post. He's looking for Lopez. This still falls for Lopez. Comes off the post and is cleared away by Ibrahim Usman. There's an S2 player down and not moving inside the penalty area. And he'll slowly pick himself up. That's Kai Briscoe now. Wingo runs onto that ball. Wingo could be in here. Wingo squares to Puana. Puana trying to control it, lifted toward goal and headed off the line. Well, you talk about end-to-end action, Dave. It doesn't get more end-to-end than an off-the-post that 20 seconds later is cleared off the other team's goal line.
Cleared off the goal line by a defensive header.
Now Buana. Buana looking for McCrary. He has it knocked away. Nagel immediately goes wide. Quick ball in, was looking for Buana. McCrary recovers. He's in against Traore here. Alex Roldan. Nagel. Roldan. Adrian Vera. And Frank Lopez. Nate Schultz. Traore, sliding challenge. Traore skips past it. Lopez calls for it at the far post. Ball coming his way. Flag is up for offside in any case. Brian Meredith not happy with his back line that Lopez was able to break free like that. Take another look at the shot off the post right here. Lopez, it almost looks like Kai Briscoe got a foot to that ball to help turn it wide. Paid a bit of a price for it too. You saw him grab his foot in midair. Went down and stayed there for a bit. But certainly already a couple of close calls here in the second half.
I think you were asking me about pacing and momentum when we got multiple shots on goals within about 15 seconds. So I don't think they're going to move at a slow pace or momentum. No momentum's been lost.
This is Usman. He runs over a challenge, still pokes the ball through. Buana gives chase, Lopez off his line. And it is shuffled away by Zanga. Before he has to find out how that story ends. Out for a corner. Buana teeing up the in-swinger. Driven ball, Wingo underneath it. Trying to bring it down so that someone can get a strike on this. S2 will settle to retain possession. McCrary. Ariano sends it back out. Roldan. Wingo trying to turn. It's poked away. Alchimpong gets a bit of an edge against Usman. Alfaro out to cover.
Excellent defensive effort by David Olson to break up that Galaxy 2 moment.
Now Delem. He wants Usman. Usman, space for a cross here. Keeps it short to Buana. Wingo looking to cut in here. Roldan. Link-up play in front of goal. McCrary was there. Gets it back from Wingo. Alchimpong picks off the pass intended for Nagel. And is shouldered off the ball summarily by McCrary. Sort of an old-fashioned rugby scrum developing around it now. McCrary tries to cut inside for Alex Roldan. He'll go back under pressure. A lot of bodies on the deck. Play continues. It's a low ball in. tipped a couple of times. Dalem. Usman. Usman squares it across the face of goal. And we continue. Throw and given to the Galaxy.
It was a hefty chunk of possession to not turn into a shot.
Angola. Now for Zanga. Didi Traore. Traore, a big touch. He'll go down. And he won't get that call. Seems like the referee, who had been calling most contact in the first half, is now letting him play a little bit. And that would seem to be confirmation. Adrian Vera pushed to the near side. Traore. Alchampong. And that out for a corner. The official numbers handed to us, Dave. S2 had 62% of the possession in that first half. Really looked like it out there. Apia teeing up this in-swinger. Just 4 in the box for Los Dos. Partial clearance. Meredith waves everyone away.
Seemed to be a bit of a miscommunication for Galaxy 2. Two of their players were discussing who should be in the box between them, and it wound up with neither of them.
Alfaro chips it up toward Buana. Lopez goes far. Can't keep it in play. But that really just the first miss-hit pass from a goalkeeper we've seen this evening. Keepers, both home and away, have struggled to adjust to the sightlines here at Cheney Stadium in 2018. So far, these two have been dialed in, though.
Even that one, Lopez was under significant pressure from Nagel.
Buana on the near side, out for a throw. McCrary stabs it in. Nagel. Roldan takes over. Wingo. Buana. Back for Nagel. And just go for the straight switch to Usman. Olsen in trouble here. Has it taken off him by Apia. Slides in, got to the ball just as it was going away. But certainly this is a match that's increasing in physicality. Apia. Long ball for Zubak. Schultz. Zubak. Cuts one square for Vera. Vera at the 18, loses his footing. S2 looking to break. Into space for Nagel. The flag is up for offside. Just a step or two off. Give credit to Hugo Ariano there. Realized what was about to happen and pretty much jumped all the way to the midfield line to keep him off. Guzman and Schultz doing battle. Guzman the victor that time. Nagel turns, he slides, pokes the ball further along.
That's contact in the first half that might have been called, but it's been consistently not called here in the second.
That's the biggest thing, really, as long as it's consistent on both sides. Now here's Lopez putting in work against Briscoe and fouling him in the process. 59th minute, and while those first 5 minutes made us think this game might finish 9-10, really neither team's developed a crystal clear chance in these last 10 minutes or so. Referee having words there with Gene Engola. Brian Meredith sends this downfield. Wingo goes up for it. A free kick given the other way. Lamar Nagel getting into Engola a little bit too much before the ball got there. Schultz looking for Lopez. Briscoe heads it along. This one might fall for Vera. Vera goes for goal. Can't put it on frame. Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. We've played an hour at Cheney Stadium. Sounders 2 on top, 2-1. On the backs of a pair of beautiful goals from Alex Roldan and Lamar Nagel in the first half. Lopez, another ball over the top. Meredith chooses to stay on his line. Briscoe holds up his run. Draws the foul in the process. Lopez getting a talking to, saying that's the second time. It's always one of those ones where strikers sometimes have a rough deal on accumulation fouls. If a guy is willing to scrap for the ball, sometimes the calls just don't go his way. But more often in those situations, you're given as good as you get.
Yeah, it's rare that you see a forward called for 2 fouls in, what was that, maybe 2 minutes against the same player.
Wingo. Sounders 2 being told, gearing up to make their first change. And it will be that man, Handwalla Bwana, who is headed for the bench. In the meantime, can make one more moment of magic happen. He's manufactured several. And the ball's run out of play. And that will be it for Handwalla Bwana this evening. Looked magnificent with his ball control. A couple of very creative passes and opportunities he developed. But he will be subbed out here in the 62nd minute. And David Estrada, the only man in double-digit goal scoring for S2 this season, is coming on.
Number 74, David Estrada.
be a little shift in the formation from what Estrada is signaling to his teammates.
Estrada usually employs as an out-and-out striker, but it looks like for at least as long as he and Lamar Nagel are on the pitch, they might operate as a sort of a big man, little man situation. As to perhaps dropping into the 4-4-2 here. Booming ball upfield. Nagel heads on for David Estrada, and I frankly, from what we saw, disagree with that call. When the ball came off of Nagel's head, Estrada appeared to be onside.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate call because I think Olsen was in the right spot. Olsen and Wingo have switched sides. Olsen now on the right, Wingo on the left.
Traore arrives at this ball. His early cross. Lopez, chance to turn. Cannot get that shot on frame. Meredith finds Wingo up the left side. Estrada steaming downfield. Instead, he'll switch it over to Olsen. Olsen is on his left here. Olsen goes for goal. Lopez equal to the task. McCrary upended on the near sideline. Play continues. Zubak was looking to square that ball. Estrada and Wingo going in against Schultz. Wingo comes away with it. Wingo trying to turn on the Jets here. Goes wide for Estrada. Estrada slows it down. He wants support.
They did not have the numbers forward on that one.
Well, one of the things you need to count on your older players to provide for you. Level-headedness, knowing that you don't really have the brake on. But cooler heads prevail. Roldan. Far side to Uzman. Nagel. Uzman. Back post. Olsen's there. And it is off target from David Olsen.
Good entry from Usman. Olsen had just enough contact on him that his only hope was to direct the ball towards goal. He didn't get to pick an angle.
Traore is down. Referees was signaled for a throw-in. Assistant referee was right there and didn't signal for anything, but Traore holding his left knee there. And they will pull the Frenchman back to his feet. to get about an extra 15 yards of free footage. That will lead to a free kick as Lamar Nagel brings down Hugo Arellano. Arellano with a long ball downfield. Turned by Vera, pushed to the far side and pushed it a little bit too hard. Alfaro. Back from Meredith. That one blocked on its way out of the box. Vera for Alchimpong. Sliding challenge to push the ball away. Referee says it's a clean tackle. Up to Olsen. Keeps the ball in play but can't keep his feet under him. Now Traore. Referee had played advantage. Didi Traore brought down there.
Olsen knew that one was going to get called when he made the contact.
Meredith trying to get his back line settled. Last free kick that S2 had to deal with wound up being a goal. This one floated in, free header. Hugo Arellano doing the dirty work. Voting for September's USL Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month begins on Thursday afternoon and will run throughout the weekend. Have your say on which players should take home the awards. Lopez tying up there with Briscoe. Briscoe holding up, waiting for support. Traore wants the early ball. Meredith gives chase toward his line, and that one's wide of the net.
It was almost an accidental chip.
And you saw that panicked shoulder peek from Brian Meredith as he started the backtrack. Nothing more disconcerting for a keeper than when you see a ball in the air and you think, that might be on goal. 70 minutes gone here at Cheney Stadium. S2 leading 2-1. Definitely get the sense, Dave, that John Hutchinson would like an insurance goal out of his side. He does not want to leave this as a one-goal match for the remaining 20 minutes.
Yeah, the second half has definitely moved slower than the first, and it might be one of those games where I don't want to say the next goal wins, because the Galaxy 2 score, obviously it's a draw. But my earlier prediction of 3 is looking highly inaccurate.
Well, you know, the game can be fickle that way sometimes, Dave. If we'd asked anyone 48 minutes on, they might have told us that your goal of 3, your statement of 3 more goals in the second half would have been an understatement. It's a matter of who will manufacture that bit of quality. Estrada finds Nagel. Overlap to Wingo. Wingo waiting on Schultz. It's out for a goal kick. Ball's gone out of play. S2 will make their second substitution. Into the match comes Anthony Burke-Gilroy, and he will step in the shoes of the Martinique holding mid, Jordi Delem. And Delem's a player who had a very bright 72 minutes.
Did a strong job stopping action in the midfield. Popped off a shot from very long distance earlier. This is not a like-for-like sub. Burt Gilroy gets forward much more frequently than DeLem does.
Burt Gilroy on the ball now. It's Briscoe back for Meredith. And Alfaro clattered into by Schultz after the ball's gone away. The free kick's been given to Schultz. And frankly, I'm not quite sure I understand the decision there. Referee perhaps feeling that Alfaro left his foot in a little bit late on that challenge. And carded for his trouble. Technically speaking, that is Tony Alfaro's 5th yellow card of the USL season. He will serve a 1-match suspension.
Look at the replay.
I just don't necessarily see what was in that. It certainly seems like something that could have been called either way. Meanwhile, Al Champong on the restart. Flick on header from Olsen, doesn't matter. Sounders 2 have already won a free kick at the 18. And this is a match where tempers are starting to flare. Arellano being pulled into the headmaster's office.
That was off-ball contact on Briscoe. It was called for the foul.
Well, it's an ear lashing, nothing more. 75th minute, 15 to go, and has to escape another free kick situation. Meredith restarts quickly. Misplayed pass. Alex Roldan calling for the handball. Not given. Roldan can't believe it, and frankly, neither can the rest of S2. They've left their back line unorganized. Zubak runs into the left alley. Traore dancing over a couple players. Meredith dives on that ball. He'll go quickly in distribution. He's lobbing it out to Wingo. A beautiful first touch from Wingo. Schultz has time to recover, though. Burt Gilroy, the 1-2. Wingo. Wider still for Estrada. Burt Gilroy. Has to settle into possession. Sliced over to McCrary. Two subs now for the Galaxy, who will introduce Jorge Hernandez and Justin Dillon. Dillon with 3 goals to his name this season. And it will be Zubak and Adrian Vera, whose nights are done. Definitely a move designed by Mark Munoz here to try to spice things up for Los Dos.
Curry's got a bit of range.
Header met by Al Champong. Schultz. Angola finds Apia. Alchimpong in against David Olson, cuts it back, and loses out to Estrada. Estrada going down there, draws the free kick. Estrada, Olsen, and S2 retain possession. Thrown into Nagel. Tied up by two defenders. And now it's Traore, played right into the back of Jorge Hernandez. Bert Gilroy. Usman. Wingo. And that ball eventually out for a goal kick. Ball was still in motion before Eric Lopez played it. Second goal kick satisfactory for the referee. Justin Dillon bring that down for Apia. Apia was really the most influential player on the pitch for LA Galaxy 2 in the first half. He's had a tough time getting on the ball here in the second 45, Dave.
Yeah, they've drifted away from what worked. In that first half, it was Apia and Traore out on their left, able to take advantage of the miscommunication between McCrary and Briscoe.
This is Traore here. He's got Dillon inside. Brought down by Lopez, who spins and buries it into the net. We're level at 2 in the 80th minute. Brian Meredith saying it came off his hand and furious with the referee. But from our angle, it looked like a good goal. And it's 2-2 at Cheney Stadium. Take another look at it here. Here's Traore, and the ball in. And, well, Meredith claiming handball, but it really looks like it comes off his outer thigh right under that right arm. Twelfth goal of the year for Frank Lopez. And puts him in a tie for the team lead. And just like that, we're back to square one, Dave.
Last time Galaxy 2 scored, S2 went forward quickly, put plenty of action into the game. Ideally, they'll do that again.
Usman. Bert Gilroy. 81st minute now, still a long way to go. Especially with some very heavy legs out there. Olsen has that poked away. Olsen here. His cross is blocked. And out for an S2 throw. Stoppage in play. S2 going to make their final substitution. They're bringing on the youngster Marlon Vargas in for the experienced Lamar Nagel. John Hutchinson wondering if youth might provide the spark that he needs here in the 82nd minute. S2 turning there. It's Olsen. That one sent toward goal. And they can't put it on frame. Flag up for offside here as the ball's come the other way.
Estrada shifted up top. Vargas is going to play underneath him.
Meredith up to Olsen. Arellano, Alchampong. And Traore. Lopez wants that ball in behind. Lopez looking to control this. Meredith again appealing for handball. The clearance is blocked. Alfaro going up for Estrada. Estrada's worked his man beautifully. He's hauled down here. Free kick's been given.
Looked like Sounders 2 was asking why that call took so long.
Gene Engela, the Cameroonian, will be booked for his trouble in the 84th minute. Another look at it here. Beautiful body feint by Estrada. And might have been a bit of a sell on that call as well. Engela certainly seemed to have a hand on him, but Estrada down like he'd been shot.
Estrada will take over that role that Nagel's played in the early parts of the match. A little bit of enforcer, a little bit of the dark arts.
His ball brought down. It's Traore, wide once more. Traore floating it in here. Briscoe. Header's bound for the byline. And Traore makes sure it gets there. Tony Alfaro is now been forced into the headmaster's office. Everyone getting a talking to out there. It's a low cross in. Smash clear. Lopez looking to control it. And another free kick for S2. That's Alex Roldan taking the hit. Meredith smashes the ball forward. Schultz is there. Jorge Hernandez for Apia. And Traore. Traore just has a lovely cross on the ball, doesn't he, Dave? Doesn't really matter if he's within 45 yards of the byline. He can seem to put it wherever he wants to inside the area.
He's had some great service tonight. He's done well whether under pressure or just in open space too.
Estrada doing battle with Zanga. Vargas comes for the ball and whiffs. Now Apia. Olsen disrupts, but it still falls for Lopez. Bouncing back to Meredith. Meredith going long. Anguilla is there. Alchampong, Apia. Gets it back to Alchampong. He goes through right away. Kai Briscoe, Brian Meredith calls off his center backs and pounces.
Great movement off the line there from Brian Meredith.
Nick Schultz pulled off in favor of Julian Araujo. That's Hernandez. Alchimpong. Alchimpong, let's fly. And that one just a bit outside. Some heavy legs down there on the pitch from what's been a very physical, very back and forth contest, Dave. Here are some fresh ones, though. It's Araujo. The cross into space for Lopez. Oh, he's put it just high.
Lopez did a great job getting that shot off.
Burke Gilroy looks to have paid a price in defending that ball. Well, if that had gone in, you'd have a pretty sure contender for goal of the week. Anthony Burke Gilroy just putting his body out there, trying to slow him up, and he'll be tended to here as we tick into the 90th minute. See him holding his right rib cage there. Certainly never something you want to see, especially as a substitute. Come in, put in a couple of very hard minutes here. And a player who's been a very bright part of this S2 team this year. Gilroy back to his feet. One more look at it here. Just Gilroy kind of loses his footing there and rolls over Lopez in the process. Thankfully, he's up and moving under his own power. But S2 have exhausted their subs. We hit stoppage time, and we will play 4 minutes here at Cheney Stadium.
Your attention, please. The referee is at a stoppage time of 4 minutes in the second half. 4 minutes for stoppage time.
Meredith strikes a long ball.
Burke Gilroy re-enters the field.
Angola under pressure from Vargas. Turns out of it nicely. Goes to Ariano. It's with Traore. Now Hernandez. Traore pressing forward. Wide ball, the cross into space there. They're looking for Justin Dillon. And it's out for a corner, the 5th of the game for Los Dos, who now are the team on the front foot. They have the momentum. Manuel Apia, he scored from a free kick. He'll leave this one short. Early ball in. And Dillon once more at the far post. He sends in a second ball. Heading clear of the 18. Vargas turns and goes down. Free kick for S2. 2nd minute of stoppage time now. Frank Lopez obstructing the restart. And Meredith, flustered by it, hits that almost straight out the touchline. Apia squares inside, they push it to the far side. Here's Araujo. He loses out to Usman, who goes down. And Araujo, immediate yellow card as Usman stays down.
Get the replay of that. You'll see Usman come in from space. Duds are up. Yeah,
Araujo lucky that while the studs were up, the challenge was as low as it was. If he catches Usman any higher, he might have seen a different shade of card. Dwindling seconds here. 3rd minute of 4 announced for stoppage time. Can S2 manufacture another quality attack? Meredith, he wants a long ball. Marlon Vargas gives chase, he's offside.
I think that one's in the parking lot now. Los Dos killing time.
Jorge Hernandez. Zonga. Hernandez once more. Hernandez upended. Referee waves him back to his feet. Throwing for Los Dos. Referee glances at his watch. Apia. Whistle goes. Full time here at Cheney Stadium. S2 had been on the front foot, but the late goal in the 80th minute from Frank Lopez, his 12th of the season, means S2 settles for a draw. A small consolation, Dave. Sounders 2 now winless in their last 10 fixtures.
It was an interesting match in that, to use the cliche, a tale of 2 halves. That first half was high-paced, and the second, a little bit of smash-mouth soccer that Los Dos came out on top of.
Well, LA Galaxy will return for a road game in California this weekend. They take on the Sacramento Republic on Saturday. Sounders 2 also going down to the Golden State. They'll take on Orange County SC on Saturday and will return here next Wednesday for their final home match of the season against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks for a 7 p.m. start. But again, your final score, Sounders FC 2-2, LA Galaxy 2-2. That's going to do it for us here on ESPN Plus. For our director, Adam Weigel, and my co-host, Dave Clark, I'm Andrew Harvey saying so long, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.